Hold on to your seats, guys, because the NBA is officially on the brink. Sponsors are fleeing faster than a point guard on a fast break. And the whispers behind closed doors, absolutely explosive. What kind of chaos turns billion-dollar deals into smoke and mirrors overnight? Who's really pulling the strings? And which star players might be tangled in a scandal that could shake the league to its core? Today, we're diving into shocking revelations that no one saw coming. And trust me, this is way bigger than a missed free throw.
Guys, brace yourselves, because what I'm about to reveal isn't just some locker room gossip. No, this is the kind of explosive scandal that makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about professional basketball. Imagine billions of dollars, millions of fans, and the integrity of one of the most beloved sports on the planet hanging by a thread. That's exactly what we're looking at right now. Sponsors are abandoning the league, whispers are turning into outright panic, and insiders are spilling details that are so wild, even your jaw will hit the floor. So who's at the center of this chaos? Well, let's start with the big players. We've got a handful of high-profile NBA athletes, top executives, and yes, a few shadowy investors who've been quietly pulling strings behind the scenes. These are your average players. They're the ones with multi-million-dollar contracts, private jets, and social media following so massive that any tweet from them can move markets. And right now, those same influencers are being accused of involvement in what sources are calling a coordinated gambling network that has infiltrated the very heart of the league.
But let's not stop there. This ain't their first rodeo. Remember the whispers during the last season about unexpected lineup changes and suspicious injuries? That wasn't just bad luck. Rumor has it, those incidents were tied to the very same group that's now under fire. The pattern is there if you know where to look. Players disappearing mid-season, unexpected roster shuffles, and Vegas eye makers raising eyebrows at what they call unexplainable betting trends. Think about that for a second. When sportsbooks start flagging patterns as suspicious, you know something serious is going down. And it's not just the players. Executives are under the microscope too. Anonymous sources inside the league claim that some front office personnel were complicit in allowing these networks to flourish. Lavish parties, private poker nights, and secret meetings were allegedly more common than official team strategy sessions. And the kicker? These weren't small-scale operations. We're talking millions of dollars moving through encrypted channels, offshore accounts, and insider leaks that can make even seasoned financial analysts gasp. Public reaction has been nothing short of chaotic. Fans are tweeting, posting, and commenting with a mix of outrage and disbelief. How could this happen, they ask? I thought the NBA was untouchable. The outrage is real, folks, and it's spreading faster than a fast break down the court. Sponsors who once lined up to associate their billion-dollar brands with the league are now jumping ship one by one. Reports indicate that some deals have been frozen, others terminated entirely, and several are rumored to be under renegotiation, pending the fallout from this scandal. And don't think the media is holding back either. Headlines like NBA sponsors abandon league amid gambling scandal and integrity crisis rocks professional basketball are plastered everywhere. Analysts are scratching their heads, debating how such a network could have existed under the noses of league officials. Some are even suggesting that the scale of this scandal rivals historical sports controversies. And trust me, that's saying something. Insider sources tell us that the scandal revolves around several layers of operation. First, there's the high-stakes player insider betting, where select athletes allegedly shared game strategies, injury updates, and roster movements with a closed circle of high-rolling gamblers. Think knowing in advance when a star player will sit out or feign injury, giving those in the know a golden opportunity to place bets and walk away with insane profits. Then there's the executive facilitation layer, where team management supposedly turned a blind eye, or worse, actively participated in ensuring these operations ran smoothly. And finally, the public perception layer, which involved carefully curating social media, press releases, and public statements to make everything look normal while the money quietly flowed behind the scenes. Some of the more, let's say, flamboyant elements of the story include lavish trips, private yachts, and extravagant parties where the lines between business, leisure, and outright corruption reportedly blurred. One anonymous source described the scene where players, executives, and investors were laughing about moves they made on bets before tip-off, as if it were a casual board game. That's the level of audacity we're talking about here, and it only adds to the disbelief. Let's pause for a second and consider the implications. If any of this gets fully confirmed, legal investigations, public lawsuits, and financial audits, it could not only rock the NBA, but also fundamentally change how fans view professional sports. Integrity, trust, and fair play, the pillars of the game, would be under intense scrutiny. Sponsors who once basked in the glow of primetime commercials might now be scrambling to disassociate themselves from a league perceived as corrupt.
And yes, while some people will brush this off as just another sports scandal, the scale here is unprecedented. We're not talking about a few isolated bad actors. We're talking about a systematic operation allegedly involved in multiple high-profile players, executives, and backers working in tandem for financial gain. That's why this story has the potential to dominate headlines for weeks, if not months. Now you might be wondering, how did this all come to light? Well, according to insider chatter, a combination of leaked documents, anonymous tips, and some very curious investigators uncovered discrepancies in betting patterns, suspicious financial transactions, and unusual behavior during games. These clues weren't obvious to the casual observer, but to those who knew what to look for, the pattern was undeniable. The pieces of the puzzle fit together like a blueprint for one of the biggest scandals the league has ever faced. And the timing couldn't be worse. This was supposed to be a season filled with record-breaking performances, memorable matchups, and historic moments. Instead, fans, commentators, and analysts are all talking about wages, leaks, and suspicious insider activity. Social media is ablaze with memes, hot takes, and conspiracy theories that would make even seasoned reporters pause. Did you see who bet against who? They asked. And did you catch the coincidental injuries this week? Every game now comes with a side of skepticism that wasn't there before, and that's exactly what the insiders knew would happen.
Here's where it gets really juicy. Some anonymous high-level insider claims that certain celebrities and influencers who are usually untouchable may have played a role in fueling the network. Their names haven't been officially confirmed, but if true, it will raise the stakes even higher. Suddenly, the scandal isn't just a matter of sports. It's a media circus, a financial crisis, and a cultural talking point all rolled into one. Fans are divided. Some are furious at the league for allegedly allowing this network to operate unchecked, while others are just in awe of the audacity. How did nobody see this coming? One fan tweeted. It's like the NBA was secretly a casino all along, joked another. The mix of outrage, disbelief, and sarcasm is exactly the cocktail that fuels viral engagement. And trust me, it's spreading like wildfire. As we wrap up this first part, remember, the NBA isn't just dealing with a scandal. It's dealing with a reputation crisis, a sponsor exodus, and fan outrage all at once. The next part will dive deeper into the scandal itself, the leak reports, investigative findings, anonymous sources spilling the beans, and the public's reaction as this story snowballs out of control. And when we get there, you'll see just how deep this rabbit hole really goes.
All right, guys, buckle up, because now we're diving headfirst into the mess that's rocking the NBA like nothing we've seen before. Part 1 had your jaw on the floor. Part 2 was about to hit it into orbit. So what exactly are these explosive leaks and insider stories that have everyone talking and panicking? Let's break it down. According to sources claiming to have seen internal league memos and private communications, the scandal isn't just about casual bets on games. Nah, it's a full-blown operation involving some of the league's biggest stars, top executives, and yes, even a few behind-the-scenes advisors who were supposed to ensure integrity. These insiders allegedly shared crucial information about player availability, roster changes, and even tactical strategies with a select group of high-stakes gamblers. Imagine knowing in advance that a star player would sit out the fourth quarter or that a team's starting lineup had been secretly shuffled, essentially guaranteeing profits to those in the know.
Leaked reports describe lavish spending on private poker nights, exclusive yachts, and luxury hotel suites where these schemes were allegedly planned. One anonymous source described the scene straight out of a movie. It was like a high-rolling casino masquerading as a team meeting. Everyone laughed about the bets they placed, and no one blinked when a $100,000 wager was placed before the tip-off. That's right, folks. Hundreds of thousands of dollars casually moving around while millions of fans watched, oblivious to the chaos behind the curtain.
And it gets worse. According to a series of supposed internal emails and verified anonymous tips, certain executives allegedly coordinated to ensure that the league's public-facing information never revealed these insider activities. Injury reports were allegedly delayed, questionable medical updates were issued, and press statements carefully crafted to appear normal, all while the money quietly moved through encrypted apps and offshore accounts. You read that right, encrypted apps and offshore accounts, the kind that would make even the most sophisticated financial criminals nod in approval. The public response? Pure chaos. Social media exploded within hours of the first leak surfacing. Fans flooded Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit with a mix of outrage, disbelief, and sarcasm. Memes flew faster than a fast break, and conspiracy theories sprouted like weeds. Did you see the Vegas lines this week? It's like someone hit fast forward on corruption. Another tweeted, "I can't unsee the fact that this all smells like a casino disguised as a league." And let's not forget the TikTok reactions, where influencers reenacted the alleged poker nights with champagne bottles, private jets, and 100K bets before breakfast. All in comedic fashion, but underscoring the public's horror and fascination.
Investigative reporters jumped on the story immediately. Some claim to have seen internal documents pointing to multiple layers of corruption. There's the player insider betting, where athletes allegedly shared crucial game info. Then the executive facilitation, where team management supposedly turned a blind eye or actively helped orchestrate events. And finally, the public perception layer, which involved controlling narratives, social media, and official press releases to make everything look normal while chaos reigned behind the scenes. Let's talk about one alleged star player. Let's call him Player X. Sources claim Player X allegedly tipped off a high-rolling gambler that he would sit out the third quarter due to a minor injury that conveniently wasn't publicly confirmed until after the game. That insider information purportedly allowed the gambler to place massive bets, netting six figures in profit within minutes. And Player X allegedly laughed it off in private sex with teammates, calling it just a little fun. Now, whether this is fully true or exaggerated is impossible to confirm, but that's exactly the kind of story fueling this scandal and why the public can't get enough. Now, executives allegedly weren't just passive observers. Reports suggest that some league officials allegedly facilitated the movement of funds, ensured that injury reports and lineups were strategically vague, and even helped coordinate the poker nights where these bets were placed. According to one high-level source, it was like a well-oiled machine of greed, and the level of coordination reportedly shocked even veteran investigators. Let's not forget sponsors. Big names, some worth billions, are reportedly scrambling to distance themselves from the fallout. Insider chatter says that some deals were put on hold immediately after the leaks, while others are being renegotiated or outright terminated. Imagine a multi-million-dollar contract being frozen while the executives and players you trusted are allegedly laughing their way through private bets. That's the kind of chaos fueling the media frenzy right now. Public reaction has also spilled into protests at games, viral hashtags, and heated debates on sports talk shows. One commentator said on live TV, if these reports are true, this isn't just a scandal, it's a reputation earthquake. Fans have taken sides, some blaming the players, some blaming executives, and some claiming the league itself created this perfect storm by embracing legalized sports betting without strict oversight. The debate is wild, and honestly, it's exactly the kind of storm you'd expect when billions of dollars are involved.
Anonymous insiders also claimed that some of the more senior league executives allegedly attempted damage control by quietly meeting with sponsors, leaking selective information to media outlets, and emphasizing the integrity of the sport while the investigation quietly continued behind closed doors. But it seems every attempt at control only fueled speculation. When you combine secret bets, alleged player collusion, and social media outrage, the story has momentum that even the most sophisticated PR teams struggle to contain. Now let's get into some of the juicy alleged interactions. Sources claim that during one private poker night, Player X, a top executive, and a few investors were reportedly laughing about insider betting on games that hadn't even started yet. The report suggests wagers were placed on player injuries, minute-by-minute scoring outcomes, and even coaching rotations. According to one leaked chat, someone joked, "We basically own the game before the first whistle blows." That's the level of audacity that has fans and investigators alike questioning the integrity of every single matchup. But it's not just the financial side that's shocking. Allegedly, it's also the scale and sophistication of the operations. Some insiders suggest that encrypted messaging apps, shell companies, and offshore accounts were all part of a coordinated network designed to make tracing funds nearly impossible. And while it may sound like something out of a heist movie, sources say this was very real. And the sheer audacity of it is what's got the entire league and the fans on edge.
Then there's the social angle. Fans aren't just outraged, they're deeply invested in finding out every detail. Anonymous Reddit threads exploded with alleged screenshots, eyewitness accounts, and fabricated yet believable stories of players allegedly boasting about bets in private. Even fan communities have been creating timelines of the scandal, connecting dots between games, injuries, and betting spikes. Some posts have millions of views, proving that the public is not just paying attention, they're obsessed. And the media? Journalists are having a field day. Investigative reports are digging into old games, previous player injuries, and past incidents where betting patterns seem suspicious. Some are drawing historical parallels to other infamous sports scandals, claiming that while this is unprecedented in scale, the mechanisms are disturbingly familiar. Sponsors, executives, and players are all feeling the pressure, and the story is only getting bigger.
All right, guys, now that we peel back the layers of this chaotic scandal, it's time to dive into the aftermath, the fallout, the consequences, and the questions that everyone is asking, but nobody wants to answer. If part 2 had your head spinning with leaks, insider bets, and encrypted accounts, get ready, because part 3 is where reality, or at least what the public thinks is reality, starts to hit the NBA like a slam dunk to the gut. Let's start with the obvious: sponsor panic. Some of the biggest names in corporate America are reportedly reconsidering multi-million-dollar deals. According to sources claiming insider knowledge, brands that once proudly displayed their logos courtside are now quietly renegotiating, freezing deals, or even pulling out entirely. Can you imagine the marketing departments scrambling to explain why a billion-dollar ad campaign is suddenly on hold? The optics are catastrophic. Every canceled contract, every withdrawn sponsorship is a public signal that the league's reputation is wobbling on a knife's edge. And then there's the legal angle. Rumor has it that federal and state authorities are quietly exploring multiple avenues of investigation. Sources suggest potential probes into wire fraud, insider trading, and financial misconduct, all allegedly connected to the network we discussed in part 2. And yes, some anonymous high-level sources claim subpoenas may already be on the way. If true, we could see a wave of legal battles, settlements, and maybe even criminal charges. Imagine the press conferences, the headlines, the sheer drama of league officials facing questioning while trying to reassure fans that the game is still fair. It's almost cinematic in its chaos. Public backlash is another storm brewing. Fans are livid. Social media platforms are flooded with threads dissecting every suspicious game, every unexpected injury, and every coincidental betting spike. People are demanding transparency, accountability, and answers. How long has this been going on? One fan tweeted. Why didn't the league act sooner? Others are calling for resignations, boycotts, and even official government inquiries. The court of public opinion is relentless and is fueled by the kind of juicy, scandalous details that make people share, comment, and obsess over every tiny development. Speaking of resignations, some insiders allege that several high-ranking executives might already be considering stepping down, or at least quietly distancing themselves from the league. The pressure is intense, and even a whisper of scandal can topple careers faster than a three-point buzzer beater.
Imagine a scene. Executives packing offices, lawyers advising secrecy, and PR teams spinning damage control narratives to salvage whatever remains of the league's credibility. The domino effect is real, and every move is being scrutinized in real time. And don't forget the players. According to insiders, a few top athletes are facing the possibility of internal investigations, fines, or even suspensions. While none of this is officially confirmed, the rumors alone are enough to create tension within locker rooms. Players are reportedly on edge, teammates whispering about who might be implicated next, and agents furiously working to protect their public images. The trust within teams, which is vital for performance on the court, is under threat, and that's a crisis in itself.
Now let's talk about potential financial consequences. If sponsors continue to pull out and investigations escalate, the NBA could face revenue shortfalls that would have seemed unthinkable just months ago. Multi-million-dollar TV deals, merchandise sales, and ticket revenues could all be impacted. And when the league's income drops, the ripple effect hits players, staff, and franchises alike. Analysts are reportedly crunching numbers behind the scenes, trying to forecast the damage, and insiders suggest it could be significant. But here's the most chilling part: trust. Fans believe in the honesty of the game, the integrity of the players, and the legitimacy of the outcomes. If that trust erodes, the entire league could collapse. Not in the literal sense, but in terms of credibility and cultural relevance. Every questionable play, every last-minute substitution, and every reported injury could be viewed with suspicion. The NBA could survive financially, but if the public loses faith, what does that even mean for the sport's future? That's the question nobody can answer yet, and it's the kind of tension that keeps this story trending worldwide.
Meanwhile, social media continues to run wild. Twitter hashtags like NBA Gamblegate, hashtag League in Chaos, and hashtag Trust the Game have been trending for days. TikTok clips reenacting alleged insider poker nights have millions of views, and Reddit threads have turned into investigative hubs where fans dissect games, player behavior, and supposed leaks. The public is obsessed, and the pressure on the NBA has never been higher. Now, imagine the scene behind the closed doors. Lawyers, executives, and PR teams meeting late into the night, trying to strategize damage control. Internal emails flying back and forth, sponsors calling to express outrage or demand clarity, and players nervously waiting for official statements, unsure if their names will appear in the next leak. That's the tension, the drama, and the sheer chaos we're talking about, and it's unfolding in real time. Some insiders are even suggesting hypothetical scenarios that sound ripped from a blockbuster movie. What if resignations stop piling up? What if financial audits reveal shocking discrepancies? What if more players or executives are implicated, creating a domino effect that shakes the league to its core? While these are unconfirmed, they paint a picture of a crisis that could escalate far beyond anything previously imagined. And now, let's address the public questions that are buzzing everywhere. How long has this network been operating? How many insiders were complicit? What did the league know, and when did they know it? Could sponsors have ignored warning signs, or were they too invested to pull out sooner? These are the questions fans are demanding answers to, and the answers, if they ever come, could redefine professional basketball entirely. As we wrap this up, let's pause and consider the larger picture. This isn't just about gambling. It's about integrity, trust, and accountability in a billion-dollar industry. It's about the public's belief that the games they watch are fair and honest. It's about sponsors who rely on that integrity to justify massive investments. And it's about the league itself, which must now navigate one of the biggest crises in sports history without losing face entirely. So here's where you come in, guys. What do you think about this scandal? Do you believe the league is covering up bigger secrets? Should sponsors have pulled out sooner? Or is this just the natural fallout of legalized sports betting? Are players truly innocent? Or is this part of a much larger, well-orchestrated operation? I want you to drop your thoughts, hot takes, and theories in the comments below. Let's get the conversation going, because the more eyes on this story, the more pressure there is for the truth to come out. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this story is far from over. We'll continue to follow every twist, every leaked report, and every shocking revelation. Trust me, the next video is going to dig even deeper, and you won't want to miss it. Whether it's uncovering more insider bets, hypothetical legal consequences, or shocking resignations, we'll bring you the full picture, one dramatic update at a time.
Remember, guys, the NBA might look like a game of fast breaks and slam dunks on the surface, but behind the scenes, this scandal reveals just how high the stakes can get and how fragile trust really is. Every player, every executive, every sponsor, and every fan is now part of this story, whether they like it or not. The chaos is real, and the repercussions could last for years. All right, fam, now it's your turn. What you think about this NBA chaos? Who's really behind the scandal? And how deep does it go? Drop your theories, hot takes, and wild guesses in the comments below. Don't forget to like if you're shocked, share to get this story out, and subscribe for every explosive update. Cause trust me, this scandal is far from over. The leaks, the insider bets, the chaos, they're only getting bigger. Stay tuned, stay loud, and keep questioning everything. The truth is out there, and it's waiting for you.